It turns out you can get HPV without having sex. Whether you're sexually active or not, you're probably familiar with human papillomavirus, HPV, as the most common sexually transmitted disease. Checkups and conversations with your gyno about HPV are important. Most of the time, HPV is pretty harmless. There are tons of strains and most of them are on the innocuous side, but in some cases, it can have serious consequences like genital warts and cervical cancer. Not something you want to gamble on. For a long time, docs thought that practicing safe sex and keeping up with regular trips to the gyno, which you should always be doing anyway, were enough to ward off the STD. But according to new research published in the journal Sexual Health, HPV can be transmitted not only from non-penetrative sexual behaviors but also from seemingly safe spaces like your doctor's office. Say what? Researchers analyzed 51 studies on HPV transmission, and they noticed that the virus was found in the genital tracts of 51% of female virgins. This left them asking, if not through sex, how are people contracting it? There are two possibilities. The first is through other types of genital contact. Even if you and your partner aren't having full-blown P&V sex, you can still get it from other types of fooling around, like by touching your guy or gal's stuff. Several of the studies showed evidence of hand-to-genital HPV transmittance, or playing with sex toys. Researchers say that among samples of HPV-positive women they examined, HPV DNA was found on vibrators that had used 24 hours after they had been cleaned. The second possibility makes us even more squeamish. You might be able to pick up HPV by coming into contact with an infected surface at the doctor's office or in public places like the gym. If the examining table or bike seat you sit down on in your booty shorts hasn't been properly cleaned, you could be at risk. Obviously, doctors' offices should be diligently cleaning all instruments and exam rooms between patients, so you're less likely to encounter the risk there. But gyms and locker rooms are not always as clean as we'd like to hope. So make sure you wipe down your equipment before and after you use it. Avoid super short shorts that leave room for accidental lady bit exposure, and always be sure to lay down a towel before entering a sauna or steam room in the buff.